This is Pulse of Africa, the face and voice of Africa. The story of resurgent and burgeoning Africa is here, only on the Pulse of Africa channel. Pulse of Africa, the face and voice of Africa.
Hello everyone, I'm Gamichi Samandida from Pulse of Africa News, here to deliver the newest stories and updates from across the continent. First, South Africa. World leaders are gathering in Johannesburg as South Africa hosts the G20 Leadership Summit, a pivotal event aimed at shaping a more just, inclusive and sustainable global future. The African Union, led by His Excellency João Lourenço, Chairperson of the African Union, and His Excellency Mohamed Ali Yusuf, Chairperson of the African Union Commission, will play a central role in the discussions. Their participation highlights Africa's growing influence in global decision-making and its commitment to advancing multilateral cooperation. His Excellency Mohamed Ali Yusuf has already arrived in South Africa to take part in the summit, which officially commences tomorrow. The African Union's engagement is aligned with this year's G20 theme, Solidarity, Equality and Sustainability, reflecting the aspirations of the African Union's long-term development blueprint, Agenda 2063. Meanwhile, Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed is also attending the summit. Ahead of the official opening, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed joined a high-level meeting of African heads of state and government, the African Union and other continental partners. The meeting was hosted by South African President Cyril Ramaphosa and served as a platform for African leaders to coordinate their positions before engaging with global counterparts. According to the Office of the Prime Minister, ahead of the G20 Leaders Summit in Johannesburg, South Africa, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed attended a meeting of African heads of state and government, the African Union and other African partners, hosted by President Cyril Ramaphosa. The summit is expected to spotlight Africa's priorities on global economic reform, climate action and sustainable development, reinforcing the continent's role as a key partner in shaping the future of international cooperation. Chinese Premier Li Qiang stated on Friday that the inaugural group of G20 summit held on African territory will enable the international community to better heed the voice of Africa. Premier Li made these comments during a bilateral meeting with South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa in Johannesburg just ahead of the historic summit. South Africa is hosting the summit as the only African nation member of the G20, though the African Union was successfully integrated as another full member last year. This expanded representation underscores the host country's push to foreground African priorities such as debt relief, trade reforms and sustainable development under the summit's theme of solidarity, equality, sustainability. The Premier Li's visit is seen as an endorsement of this agenda and South Africa's role in driving it forward. During their one-on-one meeting, President Ramaphosa expressed a strong desire to significantly deepen South Africa's multifaceted relationship with China. The two countries recently marked 25 years of diplomatic relations, with bilateral trade soaring to around $35 billion in recent years. South Africa holds a key position as the largest exporter among all African nations to the Chinese market. Premier Li arrived in South Africa on Thursday as the final leg of an official African tour, which also included visits to Zambia and Russia. His attendance at the G20 summit and his meeting with President Ramaphosa reaffirms China's commitment to deepening its political, diplomatic and trade ties with South Africa and to supporting the continent's greater role in shaping the global economic and political landscape. 5 years after his passing, Black Panther star Chadwick Boseman has been immortalized with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, celebrating a legacy that forever changed modern cinema. Boseman rose to fame through powerful transformative performances, bringing Jackie Robinson to life in 42, capturing the spirit of James Brown in Get On Up, and redefining heroism as Wakanda's King T'Challa in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. At the unveiling of the 2,828th star, Viola Davis paid an emotional tribute, saying Boseman's impact continues to resonate. Chadwick was a mighty, mighty elixir. I hoped all the angels in heaven sang him to a beautiful rest, she said, noting that even the star itself shines less brightly than Boseman's legacy. His widow, Simone Ledward Boseman, reflected on the global reach of his work, sharing that fans from across continents still sent messages of gratitude. She recounted a woman who flew from Malawi just to attend the ceremony, a reminder of Boseman's profound worldwide influence. To be reminded that he reached across oceans really warms my heart, she said. Chadwick Boseman died in 2020 at age 43 after a private battle with colon cancer, leaving behind a body of work that continues to inspire millions.
They shaped history. They inspired generations. They are the notables. Join us as we honor Africa's greatest minds and trailblazers, the notables, celebrating Africa's icons.
Moving to music festival in Ghana, the AfroFuture brand, known for its flagship music festival in Ghana, is significantly expanding its footprint across the continent with the introduction of a new live experience property called Curated by Culture CBC. This initiative is designed to spotlight African music, art history and lifestyle through uniquely curated immersive events. While the annual AfroFuture Festival remains the brand's primary cultural celebration, CBC will focus on bringing genre-defining artists to new audiences, offering a fresh, more intimate format compared to the large-scale festival setting. The new expansion property will make its highly anticipated debut by hosting Afrobeats global superstar Asake live in South Africa in January 2026. This marks the first time that South African audiences will have the opportunity to experience the Nigerian sensation's electrifying performance on their home soil. The concert is being positioned as a one-of-a-kind event that promises a dynamic fusion of high-energy Afrobeats rhythms, the infectious sounds of Amapiano, and a vibrant, imaginative visual storytelling, all central to the AfroFuture creative universe. The event's world-class production is set to celebrate the cultural synergy between Afrobeats and Amapiano, two of the continent's most dominant musical exports. Abdul Karim Abdullah, CEO and co-founder of AfroFuture, emphasized the strategic importance of the launch location. He stated that South Africa was chosen because it has long been a heartbeat of global music and creativity. Abdullah noted that the goal of Curated by Culture is to honor these cultural powerhouses across Africa and launching with an artist as bold and deeply rooted in Africa's rhythm as Asake felt like the perfect way to set the tone for the new brand's ethos. The inaugural Asake Live under the Curated by Culture banner is scheduled to take place on Saturday, 3 January 2026 at the Goldrush Dome in Johannesburg. The World Health Organization Regional Officer for Africa, AFRO, has launched the AFRO geodatabase to significantly enhance the use of accurate geospatial data in public health across the continent. Introduced on GIS Day, the AFRO GDP serves as a centralized digital platform. Its primary purpose is to strengthen geospatial governance and empower African countries to make better data-driven health decisions, thereby contributing to stronger health systems, better preparedness and improved emergency response across the region. The AFRO GDP functions as a single trusted digital repository for key geographic and population data. It consolidates verified databases on administrative boundaries, both health and political, the location of health facilities, and population figures into one system. Developed collaboratively and endorsed by participating countries, the platform ensures data accuracy and consistency, the availability of updated and reliable administrative boundaries through the Afro-GDP makes it significantly easier for African nations to link field-collected data with national data sets and conduct accurate population-based analysis. This capability is essential for improving timely data-driven decision-making for critical health programs, including polio eradication and targeted vaccination campaigns. As Keba Toure, head of WHO Afro-GIS Center, notes, the platform enables countries to work from a single, trusted source of truth. Moving to business news, the MTN Group actively supported the Nigeria-South Africa Presidential Trade and Investment Breakfast Dialogue, a high-level meeting convened by the Nigerian High Commission in South Africa on Friday under the theme Driving Sustainable Investment, Innovation and Inclusive Trade. MTN Group President and CEO Ralph Mupita affirmed MTN's commitment to supporting stronger economic cooperation. He stressed that strengthening ties between Nigeria and South Africa is essential for boosting intra-African trade, attracting quality investment and accelerating industrial development. Mupita underscored the vital role of both digital and physical infrastructure as the engine of this progress, promoting an African that is more resilient and competitive in seizing global opportunities. The Nigerian government affirmed its commitment to attracting foreign capital. Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Adebayo Olawale Edun, stated that Nigeria is open for business, safe for investment. His message sought to reassure the audience of South African business leaders and investors about the security and profitability of conducting business within the West African nation. Sanyade Okoli, Special Advisor to the President on Finance, outlined Nigeria's ambitious target to achieve 7% GDP growth by 2027 and significantly expand employment opportunities across the country. Okoli detailed that reaching this goal requires a coordinated focus on 4 key pillars: strengthening macroeconomic fundamentals, advancing governance reforms, expanding critical infrastructure, and improving access to capital. Unemployment and idleness have long been major challenges for youths in Bulawayo, Zimbabwe. However, a recent initiative is working to change that narrative. The introduction of a fish farming project at the old Lobengula Community Garden has sparked optimism among young people and the elderly. This urban resilience program is a collaboration between the Danish Church Aid (DCA) and the United Nations World Food Programme (WFP), aiming to empower various communities, with the old Lobengula Garden being a key beneficiary. The project represents a potential lifeline for individuals like Themba Nduvo, 28, for whom joblessness had been a nightmare. Nduvo expressed his hope that the project, once complete, will benefit him and his family, marking a significant mental shift from despair. This view is echoed by others who see the fish farming venture as a tangible opportunity for a better future, moving beyond the high rates of unemployment prevalent in the area. The WFP's involvement stems from its Urban Resilience Program, which began around 2022 to address food insecurity in urban areas. Initially providing cash transfers to 62,500 people, the program shifted to resilience activities supporting 6,500 urban households, prioritizing women-headed households and youth through skills training, tools, and saving groups. The WFP has also focused on providing vital water infrastructure to build resilience, having solarized and mechanized 3 boreholes in Bulawayo to supply water to communities and their gardens. further enabling livelihood and entrepreneurial opportunities. Moving to sports, the World Cross Country Tour Gold heats up this Sunday, November 23, 2025, with a trio of major meetings taking place across Europe. Cunic Molini in Italy, the Cross International di Atapuerca in Spain, and the Cross International Le Main Libre Alones Sade in France. African athletes are central to the competition at all three events, with several attempting to defend titles or seeking crucial wins to build momentum for the season. The simultaneous staging of these gold-level events guarantees thrilling action of cross-country running fans worldwide. In Italy, Kenya's Matthew Kipito will be on a quest to defend his Cinque Mulini title in the men's 8.2-kilometer race, just 1 week after placing third in Soria. Kipruto, a World U20 cross-country bronze medalist, will face stiff competition from home favorite Leas Arani, a World Championship marathon bronze medalist who aims to become the first Italian male winner since 1986. Meanwhile, Ethiopia's Yenina Shimakit returns to defend her women's 6.2-kilometer crown, but will contend with Burundi's Eliane Nimbole and Kenya's Sharon Chepkemoi as her previous rivals opt to race elsewhere. The Cross International di Ataruke ni Bogos will host a thrilling rematch in the men's race between Kenya's Matthew Kipsang and Burundi's Rodrigo Kuzera, following their dramatic sprint finish in Soria last Sunday, which Kipsang won. Kuzera will be keen to retain his Atapuerca title, though the shortened distance may favor the track-focused Kipsang. In the women's 9-kilometer contest, the field is led by Italy's Olympic and World Championships medalist Nadia Betesoleti, who makes her season debut, and the informed Ethiopian Likina Ambao, who has already secured 2 tour wins this season. Asfar of Morocco were crowned champions of the CAF Women's Champions League 2025 on Friday, defeating Ivorian club ASEC Mimosas with a tied 2-1 victory. The highly contested final was played at the Suez Canal Stadium in Ismailia, Egypt. This hard-fought win marks the second continental title for the Moroccan Giants, adding to their 2022 triumph. The victory places Asfar alongside South Africa's Mamelodi Sundowns as the only clubs to have won the tournament twice, firmly establishing their status as an African women's football powerhouse. The Royal Army side quickly asserted themselves, earning an early penalty just 13 minutes into the match. Captain Hanani stepped up and calmly converted the spot kick, giving Asfar a crucial 1-0 lead going into the halftime break. The Moroccans controlled the tempo of the first half, showcasing strong defensive discipline while patiently searching for an opportunity to extend their advantage against the determined Ivorian champions. ASEC Mimosas came out after the break with renewed energy, and their strategic changes paid dividends. Their persistence was rewarded in the 55th minute when Ami Pisa Diallo found the back of the net from an assist by Sophie Boru to level the score at 1-1. The decisive moment arrived late in the second half. In the 18th minute, Asfar was awarded their second penalty of the match. This time, Zineb Radoni took the responsibility, coolly converting the kick to restore the Moroccan team's lead at 2-1. The final whistle confirmed the 2-1 victory for Asfar, completing their redemption after they were denied a successful title defense last season. By reclaiming the CAF Women's Champions League title, Asfar has reinforced its dominance and cemented its position at the summit of African women's club football. Up next, we'll provide the latest weather forecast. Thank you for tuning in to Pulse of Africa News. Stay with us for more key stories from all over Africa.
This is Editorial from Pulse of Africa, the voice and face of Africa.
Peace and stability for Africa's regional integration. As Africa strides toward a future of regional integration, it faces formidable challenge that threaten to pull its progress. Political instability, insufficient peace, and the lack of mechanisms for the free movement of people and goods hinder the continent's growth and unity. Among those issues, the most pressing is the pervasive absence of sustainable peace and stability. The journey toward integration is not merely about economic cooperation or political agreements. It hinges on the very essence of peace. Without an environment conducive to stability, efforts to harmonize trade, enhance mobility, and foster economic partnership remain superficial and ineffective. Political instability continues to plague many African nations, often fueled by external interventions. Such actions, whether motivated by geopolitical interests or misguided attempts at support, can exacerbate existing tensions rather than alleviate them. History has shown us that external forces can disrupt local governance structures, leading to conflict and further destabilization. For real regional integration to take root, African nations must prioritize self-determination and the establishment of local frameworks for peace. The lack of free movement of people and goods, critical to fostering economic ties and cultural exchange, is directly linked to instability. When borders are viewed as barriers rather than gateways, the region suffers from a stunted economic growth rate and a lack of opportunity. Efforts to build robust transport infrastructure are often undermined by insecurity and political unrest, rendering investment unattainable. As we envision a unified Africa, one where trade routes cross borders effortlessly and citizens traverse the continent with ease, we must confront the core issue that inhibits this dream. Investing in peace-building initiatives should be a foremost priority for African governments and regional organizations. A sustainable peace framework would not only stabilize conflict-prone areas, but also nurture a climate where economic integration can flourish. Furthermore, regional cooperation must be bolstered through collaborative security measures that address the root cause of conflict rather than merely responding to its symptoms. This involves shared intelligence, joint mission in conflict zones, and a commitment to diplomatic engagement that transcends national interests. For Africa to achieve genuine regional integration, peace and stability are non-negotiable prerequisites. By prioritizing local solutions and embracing a united front against external destabilizing forces, we can pave the way for an Africa that thrives in unity and cooperation. The time for action is now. Let us champion peace at the cornerstone for the Africa we want.